today we're going to be talking about leveraging ChatGPT within marketing. So we're actually going to just deep dive into ChatGPT. And the reason that I thought this was a important platform for us to focus on within the Martech Club is because everybody has access to it, right? It's one of the first AI tools that we could all, without a coding background, without prior knowledge of how to prompt AI, can all of a sudden ask questions of and get responses back that we can use within our roles as marketers. Yeah. So just a quick recap of who I am. So I am a marketing nerd, self-proclaimed, and I love to understand how data and MarTech allows us as marketers to get the most out of our ROI for our marketing, efficiency, reach, all that kind of good stuff. And I'm an experienced digital agency owner, and we are now based in Gothenburg, which is wonderful, even though the weather could be much better in this Scandi summer. I'm also a course tutor at Oxford College of Marketing for MarTech and AI in marketing. So some of you may have seen me there. And I am AI certified and certified within many areas of data and marketing technology. So that is why I worked with Oxford College of Marketing to create this kind of recurring webinar session, because this type of need to understand this technology is not going to go away realistically. So today we are going to introduce ChatGPT, even though I am sure many of you use it, but I'm going to talk to you so you understand the foundations of this wonderful tool. We're going to look at how it can enhance marketing processes overall. We're going to look at how we craft effective prompts, because this tool has no idea what we want from it, right? And the way it experiences the world is the data that it has within its banks and the questions we ask from it. And we've got to get good at that. If we don't do that in a great, experienced or understanding way, the output that we're going to get is always going to be rubbish. Yeah, and it's always going to be generic, and it's always going to be not the best for our brands. We're going to look at privacy and GDPR compliance, because there are some key things that we need to take into consideration. And then we're going to look at advanced prompt techniques. So how do we go further into the use of ChatGPT? We're going to look at the ethics and why we need to think whether this is actually ethical, using ChatGPT content or processes or ideas within our marketing strategy, processes or content. We're going to look at the issues with it as a brand, and we're also going to look at fails and what they can do to harm our brands and the clients that we work with. So what is ChatGPT? And I did ask this question earlier, but while I explain what it is, just put in the chat box a thumbs up if you are using this within your marketing role. So it is a language model developed by OpenAI that uses artificial intelligence to understand and generate that human-like text-based input. Yeah. And here are some key points about ChatGPT. So it's built on the GBT, the generative pre-trained transformer architecture. It can perform a wide range of tasks, including answering questions, providing explanations, generating content, assisting with writing and coding, and more. It has been trained on diverse data sets containing vast amounts of text from the internet. This training helps it understand and generate text in a coherent and contextually relevant manner. Users like us can interact with ChatGPT through various platforms and applications using natural language. And it aims to simulate human-like conversation and provide helpful responses. That's why it's so easy to use, right? Because we ask it a question and it talks back to us in a way that we can immediately go away and use. So some of the applications of ChatGPT, it's used in various domains, including marketing, customer service, training, content creation, and many more. Despite its capabilities, ChatGPT does have limitations, and it can generate incorrect or nonsensical answers. It can be sensitive to the phrasing of queries, and it lacks real-time awareness or personal experiences. And that's a key thing to remember, right? And OpenAI emphasizes the importance of using AI responsibly. And they do try to reduce harmful or biased outputs and are continually working on improving the model's safety and reliability. Yeah, so they are trying to make it better and to kind of give us a better way to use this wonderful kind of tool. So this is ChatGPT. And anybody that is kind of already logged in, this is the screen that you are always presented with, right? So once you open ChatGPT, this is what you will see. On this side, you have the chat and hide sidebar functions. And this is where you create a new chat here. ChatGPT will remember previous conversations or things you have discussed with it previously and will respond within context in that chat. If you start a fresh conversation, this gives it no context, but it may remember how you personally use ChatGPT. Yeah, so if you're always asking the similar kind of questions, it may start to auto-assume and give you the same kind of outputs from that. But each conversation that will be here, you can talk to it and it will remember the context in that conversation. As soon as you press new, it is a new conversation and it won't pull information from the previous chats. Yeah. As you know, you can kind of go into here and change your settings and also archive your chats here. You can actually share your chat history with others by going into settings or clicking the chat that you would like to share with others and then choosing how to share that. This is where you add in your kind of prompts, and it also auto gives you some prompts here. An interesting thing to note is that it always has this disclaimer. OpenAI includes some like this fine print here, and the disclaimer reads, ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. And that's something else that we need to hold on to as we go through this webinar. It can do its best and by what I mean by that is it tries to understand as much as possible the input, the question you are asking. It then checks the data it has access to and it has been trained on, and then it gives you a response in the best way it can. Yeah. So who hasn't yet started to use ChatGPT? You can raise a hand or you can put it in the chat, because you can add a free account. And you can go in and there is no limitations to the free account in terms of how to prompt it. The latest model is the most useful or is the most effective, but you can use the free one to try it out and test building prompts and what you can get from this tool. It has a great and easy interface. It has, you ask here and then all the information will come here, which I will show you in the later bit of this webinar. So it's a very simple system. And that is partly why it is so powerful, right? Even my mum can use ChatGPT. She can go in, she can ask it a question and it will give a response. The power in this platform for us as marketers actually is how we use it and the prompts we give it and the understanding of this platform and its limitations. Because as soon as we understand that, we can then ensure that everything we're requesting or using this for is the best for us, our brands, our workflow, and the kind of processes that we're using it for. It is not a replacement for experience or expertise, and it is not designed to be realistically a marketing tool in the offset, right? We can use it for marketing because it has access to these wonderful amounts of data. And within that data is the information that we may require as marketers. But again, the information it gives out is not a replacement for experience, expertise, brand tone of voice, that kind of thing, because it can only give you an answer based on the information that you put into it. So how do you already use ChatGPT? Let me know in the chat. Yeah. Because there are many ways that marketers have adapted this platform to use within their processes. So we had blank page difficulties, we had draft copy, getting ideas for structuring content, we had basically data analysis, all that kind of stuff. And yes, it can be used in that way. But the main ways that it is actually being used for marketing, due to its ability to understand and generate human-like text, are the following 10. These are the 10 ways that a lot of organizations are utilizing ChatGPT specifically for marketing purposes. So of course we have content creation, so blog posts and articles. We're using it to generate ideas, outlines, and potentially full articles on topics relevant to your audience. We have social media posts, create engaging and relevant posts for different social media platforms. So that's a key way it can be used, right? To create and take a post or piece of content and optimize it for different platforms. And then we also have ad copy. So write compelling ad copy for various channels like Facebook ads, Google ads, etc. We then have customer engagement. So chatbots are incredibly powerful when powered by ChatGPT, because all of a sudden the responses we get as consumers are great. They are guiding, they are informative, they give a clear pathway. And it's because of the ability to create this human-like text. So chatbots provide real-time customer support and frequently asked questions. Email campaigns, for example. So we can draft personalized email campaigns to nurture leads and retain customers. We can do great market research. So we can do trend analysis, summarize industry trends and consumer behavior insights. And we can do that kind of really nitty-gritty competitor analysis. So we can gather and summarize information on competitors. We can do SEO optimization. So we can suggest keywords based on the latest trends and search volumes. And we can do content optimization. So provide recommendations for optimizing content for search engines. And as Claire said, it's so helpful for ideas for social posts and taking long form content that we've already created and chopping it up to repurpose it in smaller ways. Yeah, and like they don't personally rate it for blog creation, and I can understand why, and we'll get into that. Yeah. And then brand voice and messaging. So we can try to use it to ensure consistency and brand voice across all marketing channels. And we can do message personalization. So that's 5 key ways that our sector has already taken this platform to kind of be a core part of. We also have creative campaigns. So brainstorming ideas, generate creative ideas for marketing campaigns and promotions, slogan or tagline creation. So developing catchy and memorable slogans or taglines. We then have data analysis and reporting. We can do performance reports, so summarize data from marketing campaigns to provide insights. This platform is great at taking information at scale and giving it back, the iterations back to you quickly. And that's great, right? And then customer feedback analysis. So analyzing customer feedback to identify common themes and areas for improvement. We can look at it using it for lead generation. So creating lead magnets like ebooks, white papers and guides, and landing page copy. We can look at if we have a gap in our knowledge, we can use it to train ourselves and to check out what other people are doing and see what the best form or the best way forward is within a process. And then we can also do localization and global marketing with the help of ChatGPT, because there are translation services that use ChatGPT, so we can take content and put it into different languages. And it also gives us insight into cultural use or cultural insights within different digital campaigns. So using ChatGPT effectively in marketing involves integrating it into your workflow to automate those repetitive tasks, generate creative content, and provide insights that can drive strategic decisions. This all sounds well and good, right? Sounds wonderful. But there are some issues to us doing this as marketers and relying on this process. So within the different, I'm just going to answer this question in the chat very quickly. Within the different models, you do get limitations in terms of how it can kind of offer you things like examples or case studies or references. So 4.0 is the best for that, but 3.5 does it slightly. But you'll just have to see if it's enough for you, for example, on the free version. So this sounds wonderful on paper, right? This tool that can do all of these great things to support us as marketers to get more out of our marketing ROI, our processes, and our campaigns, for example. But there's actually some big risks here, some really big risks. And the first risk that you must have all seen within LinkedIn, it's the style of content that it can kick out if we're using subpar prompts, for example. So this risk of generic content, the rocket emoji, the attentional business owners kind of strapline that you can tell straight away that's created by ChatGPT. Fortified, yeah, and like all of these strange superlatives that it just throws into content. And using ChatGPT for content creation carries a huge risk of producing generic content. And this could be problematic for any startup targeting a niche audience, like early tech adopters with specific lingo and cultural references, right? AI-generated content lacks that personal touch needed to resonate with these groups, potentially weakening audience engagement and retention overall. Anecdotal evidence shows that startups relying too heavily on AI content have struggled to maintain any audience interest. It's crucial to understand the limitations of ChatGPT to use it effectively and ensure it complements rather than replaces personalized content strategies. And we have brand dilution due to lack of differentiation, right? So launching a company requires establishing a distinct brand identity to stand out. Are you going to be able to do that with generic ChatGPT content? No, you're not. This identity is reflected in the marketing content that conveys personality and values. However, using AI like ChatGPT for content creation risks diluting that brand voice because AI content lacks nuances, experience, memories, emotions of your brand's tone and style, potentially alienating your audience and diminishing brand recognition and loyalty. Despite its advantages, ChatGPT can produce generic content that fails to differentiate. So we need to understand the strategies of how we enhance ChatGPT content or how we use ChatGPT within our marketing processes. So we don't end up in this barrel of generic content that a lot of people, even across different sectors, are starting to sound the same because they're not understanding the limitations of ChatGPT when it comes to understanding how to get the best out of this platform. And then we have a lack of context understanding. So using AI tools like ChatGPT for marketing carries the risk of insufficient context understanding. While AI can generate neat text, beautiful human-like text, it may misinterpret ambiguous phrases or sensitive context, right? Leading to misinformation or disconnect with the target audience. For example, using phrases like get off your couch in a fitness campaign without considering audiences with mobility issues. Within one campaign that is AI generated, you can alienate a lot of your audience. Such missteps can dilute trust and trigger unintentional controversies, right? Especially in cultural and political or social contexts. So while AI or chat's rapid content generation is beneficial, it's crucial to double check the contextual accuracy to maintain quality and reception. Yeah. And we also need to be able to balance AI and human input. It's crucial. Tools like ChatGPT offer efficiency, producing content quickly and affordably. However, human creativity provides nuanced understanding and emotional resonance that AI lacks. It will always lack. And a strategic approach involves using AI for initial content drafts and then refining them with human insights ensures relevance and alignment with the brand voice. AI aids us in things like data analysis and trend prediction, while humans design and optimize campaigns based on these insights. So we should see this as a collaboration. It's not a competitor to us. And we need to achieve some sort of balance for optimal success. Yeah. So we're doing that kind of, okay, we can use this to make this better. Brilliant. Let's do it every single time. But we don't want to lose that human need, that connection that we have with our audiences, because people buy from emotions. They buy from pain points. They buy from us understanding as businesses what that individual is missing, is they need their kind of need for our brand to support them or our product or service. AI has no idea about that. It can't connect that together. So these are the kind of big risks associated. Yeah. And I always compare ChatGPT to a smug parrot. Yeah. Because it generates responses with an air of confidence. It mimics human language without genuinely understanding the content. So like a parrot repeats phrases it has heard, ChatGPT draws from vast amounts of data to construct seemingly knowledgeable and coherent replies. However, just as with a parrot, this response or this confidence can sometimes mask a lack of true comprehension, or context, leading the responses to sound correct or authoritative, but they may miss the mark completely, or they might miss the nuanced subtleties or deeper insights that a human would naturally provide. And I will always talk about ChatGPT as a smug parrot, and it highlights this impressive linguistic capability while also underscoring its limitations in genuine understanding and creativity. It can't create you anything new. It can't create you anything innovative, because this tool only understands the world based on the information it has access to or it is trained upon, and that information has gone before. Yeah. So I hope you remember ChatGPT, smug parrot, and you don't want that feeling from your clients, right? That you're churning out content that seems okay, but has this uneasy feeling about it, doesn't quite resonate with the brand, doesn't hit the mark on the pain points that are like your clients are looking at, does not anywhere near actually represent the organization. So it often generates responses with an air of confidence, mimicking human language without genuinely understanding the context. And now this leads me on to the power of prompts. So you may be going, Robin, this sounds wonderful, this platform, but you've told me it's not great. So should I be using it or shouldn't I be using it? And it is how we use it as marketers to actually get something that we can utilize within our marketing processes or our strategy. So when it comes to the prompt, the information we ask from ChatGPT, that is a skill. That is an understanding of how much information we need to give to this platform to get anything useful back, right? So how long do you think a prompt that you add in, maybe sentences, let's go to how many sentences do you think you need to prompt or give information to ChatGPT before you get anything that is not generic content? Okay, we've got a 3. At least 5. Okay. 5. Okay, so you're on the right track. Yeah. I think I may have led you into the information, but this is minimally what we need to be telling ChatGPT to get anything useful back. So creating a powerful prompt for ChatGPT or any generative AI tool, you can take this and use this with any generative tool, can significantly enhance its utility for marketers. Yeah. And it enables us then to create more relevant, more creative, more targeted content. But obviously, this means we need to have all this information in place. Yeah. So this is why it is not a replacement for experience or expertise or access to update information. So 1, we need to define our objective clearly. Start by specifying the goal of your request. Are we looking for content ideas, ad copy, market analysis? It's not Mystic Meg. It cannot read our minds, right? And we need to be clear as marketers what we expect from it. Because if we're wishy-washy, we're asking it wishy-washy things, we're going to get wishy-washy outputs, right? And a clear objective helps focus the AI's output on our need, what we expect from it. And now we've asked what we want, we need to give it some context. We need to give it those roots to be able to give us information back. Generative AI models like ChatGPT can produce more accurate and relevant content when provided with sufficient context. This can include our target audience, the tone of voice desired, professional, casual, persuasive, specific keywords to include, and any background information on our product, service, or campaign. We then need to tell it what we want out, because if we don't, we're going to get that really rubbish layout that everybody else uses on LinkedIn, right? So if we're looking for content that follows a particular format, such as a blog post, email campaign, or social media update, specify it. Yeah? Include any structure preferences, such as headings, bullet points, call to action. We need to guide it. We need to treat it like it's a toddler. We need to tell it exactly what we want. And we need to guide it in structuring its output according to our requirements, or else it will just give us a generic output. Yeah. What we can also do, which is truly wonderful, is we can include examples of similar content that we consider effective, or provide a template for it, so it can follow. And this can actually significantly improve the quality and the relevance of that content. And this helps the AI understand the style and the level of detail that we're actually aiming for, right? We need to use precise language, clear, non-gray, black and white language. We need to be incredibly specific about what we're asking for. As always, vague prompts leads to generic outputs. And we need to use precise language and detailed descriptions to guide the AI into seeing our vision for what we want it to do. We then need to have good incorporate keywords and phrases here. So these are terms that could be crucial to your marketing strategy or related to your product or service. And this ensures that the generated content is aligned with your SEO strategy, resonates with your target audience, actually describes the product that you're selling. Yeah. We want to also make sure that we're requesting 3-5 variations so that we have a choice and we can make sure that the message is similar within all of them, because if it isn't, AI has no idea what you're on about. And then we need to, as humans, iterate based on what we get. Yeah. So use the AI's output as a starting point and refine your prompts based on the results. And this is how we fine tune. So this is how we then learn how to prompt better. So you could actually go back and provide more context. you could actually go back and give a better format or structure. So that is the bare minimum that you need to be requesting or talking or asking of ChatGPT. Now, I'm going to show you an example of a basic prompt, a middle prompt, and then a prompt that I suggest you actually use, yeah? So this is an example of a full prompt by the time I finished. Not yet. So this is a very basic prompt, yeah? Can you write a short, engaging social media post promoting our new eco-friendly water bottle? It's simple, it's direct, and it does give a clear task to create marketing content that highlights a specific product or feature. You're going to get generic content from that, yeah? So this is a secondary version of this prompt. Can you write a short, engaging social media post promoting our new eco-friendly water bottle? The post should highlight its key features, such as being made from 100% recycled materials, its sleek design, and its ability to keep drinks cold for 24 hours. The tone should be upbeat, energetic, appealing to environmentally conscious consumers who are looking for stylish and sustainable products. Do you think the output is going to be 10 times better from that? Of course it is, because all of a sudden, ChatGPT knows who it's talking to, how to talk to these people. And this prompt provides more context and specifics, guiding ChatGPT to create a more tailored and effective marketing message. Yeah. But actually, this is how I want you to be talking to ChatGPT. So you don't get brand dilution. You don't get generic content. You get something you can actually edit, iterate, and use out of this tool. Can you craft a short, engaging social media post for our new eco-friendly water bottle? This water bottle is made from 100% recycled materials, features a sleek, modern design, and keeps drinks cold for up to 24 hours. We want the post to appeal to environmentally conscious consumers who value sustainability and style. Please include a catchy tagline, a call to action. And as you can see, as you read through that, we are all of a sudden giving so much context. And this prompt gives ChatGPT clear instructions on the product's features, target audience, tone, specific elements to include, and even suggested hashtags, ensuring a well-rounded and effective social media post. My one caveat is you will still need to edit this though, because it is still in essence generic, right? It's not aligned to your organization. Tone of voice, and you need to ensure that all of the information that it talks about your product is correct. So let me now show you what this looks like in chat. So I think it's changed. Yep. So when we ask it this very basic, the first prompt, we get a very basic information out, yeah? When we ask it more, we get a better response overall. But when we ask it an even better response, it is including the information that we need to be more relevant, less generic, and more useful for us as marketers, right? Because that's the key. That's always the key. So what are some kind of advanced kind of prompt techniques that we can begin to use to get the most out of our use of ChatGPT? So this is where we as marketers start to break down different prompts and the use of different prompts for different marketing strategies and different purposes. So advanced prompt techniques can significantly enhance the effectiveness of ChatGPT. And these techniques involve crafting detailed, structured prompts that guide the AI to generate more precise, relevant, and engaging content. So the first one is contextual prompts. So this is where we provide detailed background information about the brand, product, and target audience. So for example, this could be our brand EcoSip offers eco-friendly water bottles made from recycled materials. Our target audience includes environmentally conscious millennials aged 25 to 35. Can you create a social media post that highlights the sustainability and stylish design of our new bottle? So what you're doing is you are giving key context or background information so that the ChatGPT can create whatever you ask it from based on that context. Yeah. So that is what is classed as a contextual prompt. We then have persona-based prompts. So this is where we are defining specific customer personas and asking and tailoring the prompts to those personas specifically. So for example, we could do something like create an email campaign targeting young professionals who are fitness enthusiasts and value sustainability. Yeah, highlight how our eco-friendly water bottle complements their active lifestyle. That's a very short prompt. Please make them much longer. But the idea with this type of prompt is you base it on a customer persona. Yeah. We then have tone and style guidance. So we're specifying the tone and style. So clearly describe what we want in this prompt. Write a blog post about the benefits of using eco-friendly products. The tone should be friendly, informative, and slightly humorous to engage a young, trendy audience. Yeah. So as you can see, we can start to kind of really understand what type of prompt will get us the best piece of content or starting point for us to move forward. We then have structured templates. So we can actually give it templates to ensure consistency, especially with blogs and email newsletters and things like that. So we can do things like generate a product description for our new water bottle using the following template: introduction, key features, benefits, call to action. Make sure to emphasize its eco-friendliness and durability. Yeah, so that's a structured template way. We then have sequential prompts. So this is where we can break down the content creation process into sequential prompts to make it better, to iterate over time. So for example, your first prompt could be list 5 key benefits of our eco-friendly water bottle. The second prompt could then be based on the listed benefits, write an engaging introduction for a blog post. So you're asking it different things within the same sequential context, the same conversation. Yeah. We then have scenario-based prompts. So develop specific scenarios where the product or service is used. So for example, write a social media post where a customer talks about how they could use the water bottle during a hiking trip. Highlight the durability and ability to keep drinks cold. Yeah. And there's many more. You can do competitor analysis, content variation, incorporate data and trends, A/B testing and prompts, interactive content. And by understanding what type of prompt and the detail needed in that prompt, these advanced prompt techniques can help you to harness the full potential of ChatGPT within marketing. By providing clear, detailed, and structured prompts, we are guiding this platform to actually give us something useful out the end of it. And content that works. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at, oh, my camera's just stopped. Let me just check. Oh, I have no idea why it stopped, but I'm going to carry on anyway. It'll come back. So when using ChatGPT for marketing and other functions, we need to be mindful of GDPR and privacy compliance to ensure that they handle user data responsibly and legally, right? So we need to be practicing data minimization. So if we are using ChatGPT processes within marketing, we need to ensure that we're only collecting the data that is necessary. And we need to ensure that we collect only the data that is necessary for the specific purpose. So avoid over collection of personal data. We then need to have user consent. So we need to ensure that users are fully informed about how we are going to be used and how their data will be used within our processes. And they need to provide explicit consent. This includes any data that might be processed by ChatGPT. So if you are using a chatbot that uses ChatGPT, if you are using ChatGPT within your own marketing processes, if you are using ChatGPT to optimize, to enhance copy, this needs to be explained and showcased on your privacy settings and the information on your website and your privacy information, your GDPR information, right? So we also need to be transparent. So we need to have clarity in our privacy policies. So we need to ensure that we are explaining how user data is collected, used, and protected. We need to have data processing agreements. So if we are using third-party services like ChatGPT, we need to ensure there are data processing agreements in place. We need to have great data security. We need to understand our users' rights, provide users with the ability to access their data and kind of request a copy of it. We need to have data protection impact assessments, conduct these to identify and mitigate risk. We need to understand what ChatGPT actually does, where the data comes from, and how we're storing the data. We also need to monitor and audit our use of ChatGPT in terms of GDPR, and we need to make sure that we are anonymizing any data that we put into ChatGPT. So I'm going to ask a question now. Ooh. What happens to your data or the information that you put into ChatGPT? What do you think happens? So when you're kind of copying information into ChatGPT, what are you doing? Where is that data going, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to talk you through some ideas now that I want you to think about. So when ChatGPT was fully accessible, like the first time it was easy to kind of log in, there was 3 incidents in 20 days where Samsung staff shared confidential information into ChatGPT. A doctor inputs a patient's name and details of their condition into ChatGPT to have it draft a letter to the patient's insurance company justifying the need for a medical procedure. That means that in the future, if a third party asks ChatGPT, what medical problem does Tom have? ChatGPT could answer based on what data the doctor provided. An executive inputs bullet points from the company's 2024 strategy document into ChatGPT and asks it to rewrite it in the format of a PowerPoint slide deck. In the future, if a third party asks, what are company's name strategic priorities this year, ChatGPT could answer based on the information the executive provided. All of these actions were performed with the best of the organization in mind, optimization, doing things quicker, but ended up taking confidential information outside of the company. OpenAI uses the content people put into ChatGPT as training data to improve its technology. Since ChatGPT launched, 4.7% of employees have pasted sensitive data into that tool at least once. Sensitive data makes up 11% of what an individual pastes into ChatGPT. But think about the use of ChatGPT. It's so high, that's a lot. Even though 11% may not seem like a high percentage, it's a lot of information. And it has been calculated that there is so much sensitive data in there now that you can literally ask about Samsung, about patients, about insurance policies, about X, Y, and Z, and it could give you the correct answer very easily now. And this is growing exponentially. So when I talk about doing things like changing the anonymization and pseudonymism of data before you put it into chat, that's incredibly important. So make sure that you're not putting any identifiable information into ChatGPT, the paid for or the free version, and make sure that if you are using data that could be identified, you anonymize it before using it. But yeah, that whole like the doctor inputs a patient's name and details of their condition into chat to draft a letter, I could then ask ChatGPT, what does that person have? And it could theoretically give me that information, because all that information is used as training data to improve technology. So that's key to understand as marketers, because we don't want to be putting trade secrets. We don't want to be putting brand kind of information into ChatGPT that others can then have access to. So do you think the use of ChatGPT is ethical within marketing? I think, as with any tool, its ethical use hinges on understanding its capabilities and limitations to prevent misuse. Yeah. So we need to be transparent. We need to avoid misinformation. We need to respect privacy. We need to ensure that we understand the biases that could be found within marketing, within the data that we then perpetuate into our marketing. We need to safeguard our brand voice. We need to promote only positive content. And we need to combat things like deep fakes and deception, because that is not what we should be doing within our marketing, creating misguided, fake, or sensationalist content to get a reaction. We need to try and contribute to the common good. That's something I always say. And we need to make sure that we are continually monitoring and improving. But as I say, as with any tool, its ethical use hinges on understanding its capabilities and limitations to prevent misuse. Yeah. So I'm going to quickly showcase you now and talk you through some of the plugins that you can use with ChatGPT. So if we go into this top section here, you can then explore GPTs. Now, these are things that you can connect to ChatGPT to make it more useful. So one of the I'm going to show you two interesting ones, then we're going to quickly have a look at some others. But if I talk to Canva, I can ask it to create things for me based on the prompts I give. So I'm going to very quickly just say, I need a poster for our online store's seasonal sale. So I click that, right? So what message would you like your design convey? And I'm going to do a really rubbish prompt now because I haven't got much time to go through these, but I'm going to say, I want it to be a 50% off sale for Christmas of whole eco-friendly water bottle range. Yeah. And then we're going to see what it asks us now. So it's speaking to Canva, it's bringing back more information that it needs. So it's actually given us two poster options for what we can kind of do, right? So as you can see, it's not that great at the moment. And I also gave it a very poor prompt at this point. But what you can see here is actually by utilizing it and connecting things to ChatGPT, we can talk to it in this natural humanistic way, give it great prompts, but we can get great things out of other platforms too. We can then have a look at Video GPT by Veed. So this is a way to create content very quickly as well. So I want to create an AI avatar video. So it's going to ask me loads of questions. So the primary message is how great recycled, eco-friendly water bottles are. Mood is positive and uplifting. How long do I want the video to be? 30 seconds. And then what that will do is it will take that information. It's going to ask me any questions it feels it still needs. Yeah, we want to buy now at the end. And then it comes in many colors. That'll do. These are very poor prompts. Please go back and use the great prompts that I showed you. So that's what it's giving me as a draft for my video now. So we estimate that this script will generate this video of 30 seconds length. Would you like a male or female? Let's go male. So it's actually starting to do this now. So I need to allow it to talk to Veed. So then what you can do is actually go and look at that video. Now I did one earlier because this can actually take time. And what you can see is it actually creates the video for me with a overlay, the information, which I can then edit if I want to make more information to. So you can see that you can kind of connect ChatGPT to some great other kind of things to enhance its use. But again, it all comes back down to the prompts that we utilize and what we're expecting ChatGPT to do for us. Yeah. So you can do things like data analysis. You can also do things like image generator, PDF, AI. So you can change like PDFs in here as well. Now, this is great, right? We can all of a sudden get even more things from chats, not just the responses that we're very used to using. But as Roz in Monsters Inc. is always watching, Google's algorithm is penalizing sites made with AI generated content, right? And it's a fact that AI generated content cannot meet the quality standards that Google's various documentations outline. And one of their key messages is that they reward high quality content. Google ranking systems aim to reward original, high quality content that demonstrates qualities of what we call EEAT: expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Do you think ChatGPT can give you content that hits all of those without you editing it, without you actually creating content, like editing the content after? No, of course you can't. And their focus is on the quality of content. Yeah. And that is the way that they've been able to deliver highly reliable rankings over the years. So even though I'm telling you how to get great stuff out of this, you need to recognize that what you get out of ChatGPT or any kind of tool like this is a smug parrot. It's information that's gone before. Yeah. So you then need to add layers of your own tone, your own information on top of that, because Google is always watching. Yeah. Another thing that I'd like to just highlight here as well is that within education, so using ChatGPT or any sort of AI or AI text to humanizer kind of platform will be found out within any of the processes that you submit work into. It is very easy to actually understand and recognize if something has been written by ChatGPT. So alongside Google, you've got your things like Turnitin, Scribr, anything that an institution uses to check that you've not plagiarized will showcase how written by AI your content is. And you also need to be aware that if you are optimizing with AI, so taking your own words and then optimizing within a tone or a structure, that can also be flagged as written by AI. So thank you so much for spending your dinner with me today. Just as a note, I am a part of the CIM Specialist Digital Award in Marketing, AI Award in Marketing, and these specialist awards are really great at going niche into these subjects. It's one of my favorite courses to run, where we go deep into the foundations of AI and marketing and how it can be used. So these are a great place to kind of enhance or like spot different areas that you want to enhance within your marketing knowledge or your career. The CIM new syllabus is kind of coming out, and the Oxford College of Marketing is currently offering 10% off the full foundation, certificate and diploma until the end of July. So you can check out the new syllabus using that QR code there. And then please come and join me in Slack in the Martech Club. I post tools in there, questions in there, news in there. We've been talking about the reform candidates of the UK and whether they are AI generated or not. And it's just a place where you can ask questions to each other, to me, to kind of get a real understanding of how marketing technology and AI can support you to stay ahead within marketing. Yeah. So has anybody got any questions about ChatGPT very quickly? So can you get it to create summary videos based on your video content? Yes, Chat 4.0 does that. Yeah, using ChatGPT on its own without editing, adding your own tone of voice, just taking what is churned out of ChatGPT and slapping it on your website will be incredibly harmful to SEO ranking. But you can use it to optimize your own content's SEO searchability, if that makes sense. Anyone got any other questions? Thank you all again for spending your Monday lunch with me. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and I'll get them answered for you. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time. Have a really good day.